Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2021-22 season. My name is Dan and today we are doing a Game Week 27 team selection video to show you guys how I'm going to set up for Game Week 27, who I'm going to be captaining, what transfer am I going to make, and of course reflecting on my Game Week 26 scores so far as well, because technically Game Week 26 hasn't actually finished yet. So guys, if you do enjoy what you see today, please don't forget to leave a like, really helps out the channel, and of course subscribe if you're new around here and you just want FPL content all the time. That's kind of what we do here. So without further ado, guys, let's have a look at how I am getting on in Game Week 26 so far. So as I record this video, just the Arsenal versus Wolves game yet to play still. So I've got two players left to play technically. I do think I will go down in rank a little bit more after this game, to be honest. It's been an interesting one. I mean, a score of 125 so far, and I'm on a red arrow. It just shows how competitive FPL is right now. And I'm getting kind of red arrow after red arrow at the moment, so it would seem. But you know what? I'm not too worried. I'm not too worried. There are obviously some things I kind of regret. You know, some players I've picked that turned out to be real traps. Edouard, for example, real trap there. Dino, real trap there. Watkins, I was never convinced in the first place, but he was a trap as well. But some of my other players, I kind of feel I've maybe been a little bit unlucky with. Cornet, unlucky with the injury. I don't know, maybe Bowen and Broya on a usual game week, they'll play pretty well. But, you know, I've got some good picks in here as well. Robertson and Son were obviously nice players to come in there. And there might be a few more points to come this game week as well. But at the end of the day, you know, if I don't finish very highly, if I drop, you know, another 5,000 ranks, I'll finish off where I deserve to be at the end of the day, and I will still be very, very happy with anything inside the top 10k. The aim now, I think, is just to try and kind of just chill out a little bit and just accept, hey, a top 1,000 finish would be phenomenal. That would change, you know, that would change things forever for me. That would just be absolutely insane. So that would be putting my mark down in the FPL community if I can finish top 1k. So yeah, that's the goal now. But at the same time, I do just want to say, because you guys will probably be watching other FPL content creators, some will be getting green arrows, some will be getting red arrows. I just do want to say that different people have different tactics going on right now. People are using their wild cards and their chips at different times. To try not to judge people right now, I think over the next few game weeks, you are going to see people go up and down and up and down. And you can kind of see from my team for Game Week 27 that I'm not actually anticipating a green arrow in Game Week 27. It would be nice if it happened, but I don't think it will happen. But from there, I'm pretty confident. So different people are going to have different tactics, which is going to cause a lot of yo-yoing between different people. And, you know, you're going to go up and down depending on when you're using each chip. That's just the nature of the game right now in chip season. So, yeah, don't pay too much attention to rank, but roughly, I think we're doing okay. You know, it could be far worse. Obviously, the triple captain on Salah came off massively. So, you know, I mean, I was just really confident about that one. There was never going to be a situation where I didn't triple captain Salah in this game week. What an opportunity for a triple captain. And congratulations for those of you who got those triple captain Salah points. It was just the most obvious triple captain move you'll ever make in your life, right? But since everyone was doing that anyway, I didn't really want to focus too much of this video on talking about that. But yeah, that went very, very well, I think. But, you know, yeah, the rest of the team kind of let me down this game week, I think. So even though I got a score of 125, it feels like a small 125 in many ways, doesn't it? But anyway, let's have a look at how I'm going to line up for Game Week 27. So we've got 1.4 million in the bank. I know a lot of people are free hitting this game week, but because I used my wildcard slightly earlier, what I tried to do is set up for both Game Week 27 and, Game Week 26 and 27, where I can get plenty of doublers in 26 and also have a full team ready to go in 27. So I don't need a free hit personally. Some of you guys who have a lot of Arsenal players, Chelsea, Leicester players might need a free hit. Liverpool players as well, obviously. But I don't, and I'm not going to be using one. So this is I'm going to kind of show you how I'm going to navigate that. And we'll talk about it a little bit after. So first of all, let's start off and go with De Gea home game against Watford. Watford have been not so great in attack recently. I mean, they did okay over the double game week, I suppose. But, you know, nothing absolutely amazing, nothing absolutely stunning from Watford. I expected them to be a little bit more of a defensive team. What Manchester United are we going to get? We're not really sure. Manchester United defenders, you can only be so confident in them, can't you? But with a goalkeeper, at least, we know De Gea is going to be making plenty of saves. And Watford are actually a team that kind of like to shoot from range a little bit. So maybe that's actually going to be a good thing for De Gea. Maybe some slightly easier saves to make, rack up those save points a little bit. So although you would be hopeful that Manchester United should keep a clean sheet in this game against Watford, You never know. But what I will tell you is that De Gea, even if they don't keep a clean sheet, there's going to be a couple of save points there, and that's not going to be too bad. So I don't mind having De Gea in goal one bit. We've got Cancelo in defence next. He's going to be a popular player, even for free hitters. They're still going to want to have Cancelo in their team. So, yeah, no qualms there. Obviously, a really good defender to have in your team. This Everton game, we're expecting Man City to do quite well in this game. I know you free hitters are probably thinking about loading up on those Man City players. Don't blame you at all. But yeah, look, let's see what happens here. Cancelo, though, should, in theory, get a clean sheet, you hope. And, after that, we'll see what happens after that. Maybe a goal contribution or two. We know what Cancelo's like, don't we? Even though he's kind of let us down last game week a little bit. Let's see what we can do this week. We've got Digne next. A game against Brighton. I actually think this is a pretty good fixture, actually. Brighton have been struggling recently, not just in defence, not just in attack, but also defence. Like, usually we know Brighton are not a team that scores a lot of goals, and although Aston Villa have let us down a little bit from a defensive point of view recently, you get the feeling that they could get a clean sheet in any given game. And, if a defender is going to get a goal contribution, it's going to be Digne. We see him taking shots. We see him taking set pieces. We see him making a lot of crosses. The good signs are there. We just need an actual return from him. And we haven't really seen that since he first moved to Aston Villa. We haven't seen that return. We haven't been rewarded for our backing in Digne. But I like him. I like him for this game week. I know he probably wouldn't fit into the free hit template, so he's not in the ideal squad for Gameweek 27 perhaps, but I still quite like this pick, really. I kind of do. I think it actually could end up being a little bit of a differential this game week, which is actually kind of nice. I don't mind that at all. We've got Edouard next. Wolves, we know, are a very good defence. West Ham, maybe struggling a little bit at the moment, to be fair, so it's a difficult one to call. It kind of, I don't know, maybe we're going to get something like a 1-1 in this game, which would mean no Aït-Nouri clean sheet. But I would like it if Aït-Nouri, well, I do think he's pretty nailed, so I'm not too worried about him being rotated any more than I would be with any other player. He is pretty nailed on, so that's pretty good. And I think this West Ham game, maybe a clean sheet, maybe not a clean sheet, but a goal return maybe. It's always a possibility when you're talking about full-backs, isn't it? Especially wing-backs, in a five at the back formation. Aït-Nouri, come on, do us proud. We've had you for a couple of game weeks. You've not rewarded us so far. Come on, it's time to do it. We've got Heung-min Son in midfield, another really super popular player amongst free hitters. So you kind of seeing what I mean, guys. Like, as my normal team comes together, it's not actually that bad at all, and it was kind of planned for. When I did my wildcard, I planned to make sure I had a very good team for Game Week 27, so I didn't have to use a free hit. So we're going pretty strong so far. So Son, he came in last game week, because I liked him for the double. He obviously performed against Man City, but not so much against Burnley. But I like this Son game against Leeds a lot. I really like this fixture for Son. I think this is a really incredible one. And although Spurs are like the most unpredictable team in the world right now, they just blow hot and cold. You never really know what you're going to get. Like, they're even worse than Manchester United. They're either amazing or terrible. Or whereas Manchester United are either slightly disappointing or slightly promising kind of thing. But Son, incredible player. Gets extra points for goals and, clean sheets compared to Kane. I really think he can do very well. His creative numbers are really good recently, as is his shooting numbers. His numbers in general are just phenomenal, since he's been playing. So even though he didn't get on the score sheet against Burnley, we still do think that he is going to be a really good player. And Leeds, so bad recently. So bad. Conceding so many goals. Conceding so many chances. And you really feel like your Sons, your Kanes, maybe even your Kulusevskis, if you're feeling kind of spicy, are going to be able to capitalise on this. So, yeah, a player I'm pretty confident in. And I'm sure you guys who are Son owners will be pretty confident this game week as well. We've got Jarrod Bowen next. So this is a bit of a, head-to-head between Aït-Nouri and Bowen. Bowen, although he did blank over the double game week, I still think he was pretty impressive. Whenever you watch Bowen play, he looks really good. He is always the guy who gets the most amount of chances in that West Ham team. He always looks like the most likely to score, and he also looks like the most likely to assist a lot of the time as well. He's on set pieces, for example. So, yeah, so much to like about Jarrod Bowen every single game week. I know his fixtures from now on don't look so good. We've got Wolves this game week, which is really not a great. It's not a great game. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Liverpool next. Aston Villa after that, maybe. But yeah, this Wolves game, I don't know. I'm finding this difficult to call. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I kind of have a feeling it's going to be a 1-1. But if it is a 1-1, you would say, who's going to be the West Ham scorer? surely it's got to be Jarrod Bowen. Absolutely, surely it's got to be him. We've got Cornet next. A little bit disappointed last week that he unfortunately got injured, but since he was in contention to play against Spurs, that kind of suggests to me that he's going to be in contention to play against Crystal Palace. And if not, surely he's going to play against Leicester, the better of the two fixtures. So Maxwel Cornet, I'm really, really hoping that he is going to be back, because this double game week is really good. It's one of the reasons I picked Cornet for my fantasy team, is because I was eyeing up last double game week and this double game week. Last game week didn't happen. It was an injury. You know, these things happen. You can't really complain about it too much. It's just part of the game, right? But this game, I just really want him back. I really want him back. I really want him to be able to play in this double game week, because I think between him and Weghorst, they are going to be some, they're going to be able to score some decent points across this double game week. Those are the double game week players we want, aren't they? We want our Nick Pope, we want our Ben Mee, we want our, perhaps Connor Roberts, we want Weghorst, and then you add Cornet into that mix as well, as players who you think out of the Burnley players are more likely to get you some FPL points. So fingers crossed he's back. Really, really hoping for that one. I'm going to finish off the midfield with Elise, a player who is seemingly getting towards nailed, which is just an impossible concept, right, guys? Crystal Palace are absolutely driving me insane with their rotation. I don't know what is going on with Crystal Palace right now, but a home game against Burnley, on paper, is a good one, right? You'd say, I don't know, Burnley obviously kind of improved recently, and Crystal Palace kind of, aside from that last game, pretty disappointing. But yeah, I don't know. Let's see what happens. I'm in a lot of confusion right now, guys. I'm sure you can kind of see. But I've got my team. There's not really much I can do about it. It's kind of risky. Elise I do really like as a player. I think he's a really good creative player. I like the way he takes shots on. I like his confidence as well. And if he was still on the pitch when Crystal Palace scored all of those goals last night, I'm sure he would have been contributing to those as well. So really cheap player, differential player. He's a player I kind of backed. It's gone okay so far. I think in the 2 game weeks I've had him for, he's got 1 return, which is okay. But let's see how this pans out on the slightly longer term. But hopefully this is going to be a game where Elise is going to do okay. I still back him. I'm still backing my boy. Okay, let's go up front. We've got Ollie Watkins, the perpetual disappointment. This is the frustration. I really wish I went for Weghorst over Watkins on my wildcard. That's like my biggest wildcard regret, I would say. And the reason why it's such a regret is because I was in 2 minds. I really was in 2 minds. And I feel like I didn't even like Watkins as a pick. You guys can go back and watch my streams and my videos when I was going for Watkins. I was like, I'm not convinced by this one at all. I'm kind of just going for Watkins because I can't really see anyone else that looks really good to go for right now. We had some good fixtures. Maybe he can get something out of that, but wasn't to happen, and now he's been dropped. The other player I was considering, it was either Watkins or Weghorst, but I kind of decided in my mind that I thought that Weghorst, I didn't want to double up on the Burnley attack. I thought it was really risky to double up on the Burnley attack because we kind of knew that Burnley struggled a lot this season, and doubling up on their attack just kind of, as a straightforward thing, just sounded like a crazy thing to do. But I should have just picked my favourite players because I did prefer Weghorst to Watkins. I just didn't want to double up on Burnley. So maybe that's a lesson learned for myself, and it's important to take lessons to maybe pick, be more conscious about picking players you actually like rather than worrying too much about, I might be doubling up here, I might be tripling up here. Just pick the players that you think are going to score the most points, because I was right. Weghorst has scored more points than Watkins. I didn't think it would be this extreme of a disparity, but yeah, that's what happened. Oh well, we move. We've got Edouard, another troll player, another trap player. Over the double game week, he comes on over the course of 2 games, he essentially comes on in the 179th minute to play 1 minute of football over the double game week. Wow, absolutely wow. I can't imagine the amount of points that he's blocked for some of you guys, but yeah, this was another, in hindsight, a mistake on the wild card, but he looks so good. And he was playing most games, and now he's not. I don't know. Maybe he's going to come back into the team for Burnley. I don't know. Not really worth a transfer, just because there's no one else. Look, there's one forward I want to bring into my team, and that's Weghorst. I've got Watkins there, I've got Edouard there, who I'm not happy with either of those players. There's no other forwards that I want other than Weghorst right now, and one other player, and that is Broja, who's the final player in this team, another player who's super, super popular on those free hits and stuff. So yeah, Broja, a really good player for this game week. So Yeah, we kind of finished off this team with a very good player, a player who I'm actually very confident about. You know, there are some players in this team I'm pretty confident about, but, you know, I'm kind of in a situation where there's some players who aren't ideal, right? Edouard for this game week is not ideal. Watkins is not ideal. But, you know, we've got to think about forwards. We've got to think about longer term. You know, I'm happy to just put a player on the bench. I mean, if I bring up my bench now, guys, for you, you can see we've got Ramsdale, Salah, Trent, Robertson. None of these players have fixtures this game week, which was part of the plan, just to bench all of those guys this game week. But, you know, I don't need to like every single one of my players because those three guys, Salah, Trent and Robertson, are going to come off the bench from next game week, well, for the rest of the season, right? And play every single game. So it doesn't matter if I don't like every single one of my team. It's just this game week where we have got a little bit of, you know, we've got a blank game week at the end of the day. I've kind of just got to maybe accept to a degree that everything can't be perfect. If you are not free hitting this game week, you can't have a perfect team this game week. That is part and parcel of the season, right? So I like Broja a lot. I don't like Edouard that much. I don't like Watkins that much. Elise is okay, but he's mostly going to be a bench option anyway. Nori is okay, mostly going to be a bench option. Most of the other players, I actually quite like, and I think they could score very well. So we need to basically, guys, get Weghorst into this team. That is the key, right? Everyone knows Weghorst is transfer target #1 for this game week. He's just performed, you know, so well since he's arrived at Burnley. He's got an excellent reputation in Europe of being a real top striker in you know, European football for seasons and seasons and seasons. We know he's good. We know he's very good. He's pretty cheap. He's got a double game week. He's incredibly captainable this game week. Probably going to be the most popular captain this game week as well. You know, we've got to buy him. We've got to buy him. So who's going to be sacrificed, Watkins or Edouard? Well, I think we're going to sacrifice Watkins. We're going to sacrifice Watkins. He's going to come out and Weghorst is going to come in. Mostly because, you know, that actually frees up a little bit of budget in my team. I think if Edouard does start, I think he's got far more, you know, Watkins and Edouard, you can say both of them are rotation risk right now. But if Edouard plays and if Watkins plays, if they both play a game, I feel like Edouard is the player more likely to get the goal return. It's a home game against Burnley versus an away game against Brighton. Maybe Brighton are going to have their centre-backs back, so they're going to be looking a little bit better than they have done in recent game weeks. I don't know for sure. But I just feel like Edouard has got slightly higher potential this game week, and, you know, it allows me to bank a little bit of money in future game weeks. We can probably just bench Edouard, to be honest, because we're not interested in him too much, are we? But for this game week, he hopefully can do okay. You know, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, that's the risk of going for these risky players, right? But yeah, so Watkins out and Weghorst in. Suddenly this team looks a lot better. Weghorst I'm really super confident in, so we can talk about captains already. We'll go in nice and early with captains today. So Weghorst is going to be the captain for this game week for me. And we're going to put the vice captain on Son, I think, because Son is, you know, also a very, very good option for this game week. And, you know, you never know, he could even outscore, Weghorst, you know. And the Son, you know, if you're looking at the premiums for this game week, Son is probably the best premium for this game week, right? You would say? Would you agree? Who else? Bruno, KDB. No, I think I prefer Son this game week to pretty much any other premium. Maybe you put Kane up there as a good premium as well. So yeah, we are going to go for the non-premium captaincy just because of that double game week. But the vice captain can go on Son just for the vibes, you know. So guys, look at this team. It's not bad. It's actually not bad. You know, compared to a lot of those teams out there, you know, particularly those people who have a lot of Arsenal players, a lot of Liverpool players, maybe the odd Chelsea player or Leicester player still hanging around in their team, they're going to struggle to get together a full 11. And we've got a full 11 with, you know, the ideal captain for the game week. We've got, you know, big players like Broja, Son, Cancelo. These are going to be super popular players. You know, whether you're free hitting or not. We've got Cornet. If he's past fit, he could be really good for these two fixtures, Crystal Palace and Leicester. Leicester in particular, that's a really good fixture if you're an attacker, right? So Cornet, Weghorst, these are the attackers who we think are going to do really well against, you know, a team like Leicester. So on paper, I know that this team is not going to score as much as the free hit teams. You know, that's obvious. If someone uses a chip, they are expected to score more than a player not using a chip, right? That's standard. But I don't think this is that much worse. And that's kind of what I've been going for. I make sure I have a team that is not that much worse. And we'll have to judge if my plan works over the course of a few more game weeks. Because next game week, You guys may or may not know this, but I am actually planning a free hit in game week 28. So that's going to be a pretty unique strategy, but that's just the way my team is set up. If I look through my players, you know, I'm not that well set up for game week 28, and we've got lots of double game weeks. We've got 3 really nice double game weeks in game week 28. You know, but the kind of teams that have double game weeks in 28 are the kind of teams that I wouldn't really want to load up on too heavily long term. So I'd rather kind of just do that for 1 week. Game week 29 is obviously a double game week as well, and that's a double game week for, you know, Arsenal, Liverpool, Spurs. I've already got loads of those players, so that's going to be fine. You know, I'm going to be set up pretty well for game week 29 in terms of those double game weeks. So yeah, let's try and capitalize on game week 28 with a free hit. I think that's going to look really, really good indeed. But for this game week, we've got to survive, basically. That's the idea. Try not to score 2 less points than the free hitters. And the next game week, we're going to really attack game week 28 and hopefully claw back a lot of points. And then, yeah, and then hopefully we'll still be quite nicely set up for game week 29 as well with lots of double game week players. And that's pretty much how I'm going to line up. Would I say I'm super confident this game week? No. No, I'm not super confident. I know I'm going to lose rank, and that's fine. I have to be okay with that. It's part of the strategy. It's part of the strategy. But I think this team could do okay, and I think there might be a few surprises in this team that you see in front of you as well. So that's all I'm going to say on that one. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please do leave a like. Please do subscribe as well if you're new around here. We will be doing a deadline stream tomorrow. We'll make final changes and, you know, talk about any final news and stuff like that. We'll do that, you know, well, an hour before the FPL Gameweek 27 deadline. So don't worry about that. Might even do another stream in the morning as well. We might do a strategy stream actually in, you know, Friday morning as well. So yeah, stay tuned for that one. That could very well happen. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That is, you know, I'm pretty sure about my moves this week, so I don't expect too many changes if I'm honest. But yeah, there we go. That's it. Thank you so much for watching once again, and I will see you later, mates. Bye bye.